the country news, broadcasting from Bogotá. Camila Ramírez greets you.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, 13, 2021. Welcome to the news. Juanita Castro, you greets. We begin.
We begin by saying the important headlines that have happened these days.
Headlines in country news.
The Aviator Tourism Company has implemented great cultural programs which invite you to travel the world and, above all, to know and introduce ourselves to new countries. In minutes, we will tell you the programs that will be implemented in one of the most visited countries on the European continent.
Italy creates a day of commemoration for some of the academic figures that marked the history of the country, promoting the artistic, literary, and musical health, particularity with in Italian culture and in turn, promoting human development hand in hand with subjects such as science, mathematics, philosophy, and mechanics.
For reasons of confinement, historical festivals and carnivals, as well as traditional events that commemorate the cultural and tradition of different parts of Italy, will not be celebrated for the first time in decades since their inauguration.
Places of cultural interest in Italy.
The tourist company Aviator, in order to provide great opportunities to those who we are interested is knowing Italy on a cultural and historical level, has created travel packages that include the following tourist sites: Milan, where there is the opportunity to know the cathedral, accompanied by a tour guide who provides a tour of the monuments of Inter such as the Duomo, the Galleries Vittorio Emanuele, the Castello Sforzesco, and the shores of the Santa Maria del Grazie.
Secondly, there is the Roman amphitheater located in the city of Verona, known as the Arena of Verona, which has been highly recognized for its great opera productions that take place inside. Would you like to visit one of the opera theaters, biggest in the world? However, we will provide you with certain comparisons with other cities of cultural interest so that you can choose the best one. Is a Gothic cathedral located in the city of the same name. It is the Episcopal of the Archdiocese of Milan. It is the largest Catholic church in the world. It is 157 meters long and can hold more than 300 people inside, and the clear windows have the reputation of being the largest now. Milan Cathedral is smaller than Florence Cathedral because they are meters apart. Milan Cathedral measures 107 meters and Florence Cathedral measures 115 meters. However, Milan Cathedral is still the best known to foreigners.
The Arena of Verona is a Roman amphitheater located in the city of Verona. Italy is the best known for the Opera Festival. It is one of the best preserved sculptures in style. The building was built in the year 30 in a place that was then outside and the city walls. The light shows and games that were staged it were so famous that the spectators used to come from many other places, sometimes very design. One of the most outstanding monuments is Verona. It is Roman Arena. Despite not being an improvised at the Colosseum in Rome, this amphitheater is one of the best preserved in all of the Europe. So much so that shows are still held in today.
The Vatican museums are the galleries and group of rooms of artistic value owned by the Church and accessible to the public in Vatican City. It is a unique experience that must be lived at least once in your life. The visit is a long and interesting journey that will fill you with emotions through more than 20 centuries of history and art. The Sistine Chapel, the Raphael Rooms, and the Pinacoteca are just one part of the large number of collections of inestimable value. The museums are more visited than the other cities due to their greater story and culture over the country.
Academic figures in Italy.
In Italy, August 10th is commemorated as the day of the most important historical academic figures. Today we have the participation of three historians who will tell us about the life and work of Da Vinci, Jacopo Leonardi, and Galileo Galilei.
Leonardo da Vinci. He was an Italian polymath of the 15th and 16th century. He was born on the 15th of April in 1452 and died on May 2 of the 1519. He became now primarily for his outstanding talent of painter, engineering, and inventor. However, he was also Florentine scientist, writer, sculptor, philosopher, musician, and urban planner. His best-known pictorial works are La Gioconda, also known as the Mona Lisa, and the Last Supper, the Virgin of Rocks of the 1485, the Lady with the Ermine of the 1490, and a famous self-portrait of 1512. Da Vinci cultivated medicine and anatomy, and was interested in uncovering the mysteries of the things of the human body. In addition, he dedicated himself to analyzing the mechanicals and in the fact he dared to design the devices with which he intended to fly, such as helicopter, initially thought only as preparing the parachute and the flight machine, as well as inventing the clock. Giacomo Leopardi. Giacomo Leopardi was born in Recanati on June 29, 1799. He died in Naples on the 14th of June 1837. He was an Italian poet, philosopher, philologist, and scholar of Romanticism. From her verse, Giacomo was undermined by the disease. He had fought disease that sagged his back and also suffers from severe rickets. He spent his childhood studying desperately and reading with insatiable curiosity light into the night. At 11, he reads Homer. At 13, he reads his 50th tragedy. At 14, the seconds Pompeii in Egypt. And 15, and say on Porfirio. And at 8, he already knew 7 languages and had studied almost everything, classes languages, Abrams, modern languages, history, philosophy, philology, and natural sciences. Galileo Galilei. He was an Italian astronomer, engineer, philosopher, mathematician, and physicist closely related to scientist revolution. An eminent man of the Renaissance, he showed interest in almost of the sciences and arts, music, literature, painting. Galileo Galilei was born in Pisa, Italy, on the 1st of the February 1564. Galileo Galilei was a pioneer of the experimental scientist method, the first of the refined telescope with which he made important astronomical discoveries. In 1604, Galileo learned of the invention of the telescope in Holland and proposed an improvement of the model with which he made a series of discoveries such as the moon of the planet Jupiter and the phases of Venus, similar to those observed on the planet and the moon.
Most important fairs and festivals.
In Italy, every year, various festivals are celebrated in order to maintain their customs and traditions. However, in these types of events, a large number of people are usually found between natives and foreigners. And in times of pandemic, this would alter the contagion. So, for the first time in the history of this country, they have decided to cancel many of these popular celebrations until further notice. Today we will talk about 3 of these fairs.
One of the most famous is the Pilot of Siena, a horse race that has been a long history of civic association, heritage preservation, and strong ties and friendship and rivalry. It is a horse race that faces the contrasts of district of the city of Siena. The competition takes place twice a year. One July 2, the Palio di Provenzano, in honor of the Virgin of Provenzano, and on August 16, the Palio d'Exemption, in honor of the Exemption of the Virgin. The race plays in Siena's central Piazza del Campo. The celebration does not wait on just after the victory. The members of the winning contratada rush to claim their repi. The diplome is carried in procession to the College Church of Santa Maria in Provinciano and the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assumpta. The triumph will begin a week of the dinners and celebration, public and private, in the territory of the winning contrada. It just do it and to celebrate the victory, but there is no time to the rest on your lares on Sunday. It will be time to start preparing for today's context. It is well known that the Palio lasts all year.
Venice International Film Festival is celebrated from September 1st and ends on the 11th on this month. Is an Italian film festival that takes place every year at the Palazzo del Cinema in Venice and is considered one of the most prestigious films festival in the world. The festival's highest award is the Golden Lion, which the jury awards to the best film in competition. The jury also awards the Silver Lion to the best director and Grand Jury Prize. In the interpretation section, the jury awards the Volby Club to the best actor and the best actress. The main venue of the festival is the Palazzo del Cinema, south of the Lungomare Marconi, on the Lido of Venice, where the films in competition are screened. Inside are the big room, with capacity for 1,078 people, and the bulky room with capacity for 171 people. The Venice Carnival is unique in the world, and its tradition dates back to the 11th century, although it was not declared a holiday until 2 centuries later. How does it develop? Carnival is totally different from the Spanish image, and much more from the Brazilian one. During the 10 days that it lasts, people dress up in costumes and go out for walks and take photos, either in organized or impromptu parades. The costumes are period costumes from the 17th century Venetian, as if fresh out of a Canaletto painting.
Does everyone dress up? The vast majority of tourists don't dress up or just wear a mask about in the thousands of shops and street stalls that abound in Venice. The goal of most visitors is to see Venice of Carnival and take photos in the best costumes. As an exception, we have also found couples and groups of Spaniards who have chosen to rent quality costumes.
On what dates is this carnival celebrate? Taking into account that Venice is very close to the Alps and that the carnival takes place on the beginning of the year, between the end of January and the middle of February, depending of the year. It is advisable to bring warm clothes. It is very common for it to snow, so it is a good idea to pack warm clothes in your suitcase.
The dates of this Venice Carnival in 2021 will be from January 13 to February 15. Like every year, if you want to get to know Venice on these special dates, is the essential that you book your flight and hotel as far in advance as possible. The others disappear quickly.